Hey guys, welcome back to Global Bites. Today we're making churros.
At first, churros seem like they're difficult to make, but once you understand the steps, the process becomes much simpler than you think.
When first thinking about churros, frying might sound a little intimidating, especially if you don't do that often. But with churros, it's simple and the process is pretty straightforward.
And overall, this is a recipe where the ingredients feel basic, but the final result looks a lot more impressive than the effort you put in.
Before we get into cooking, we want to talk a little bit about where churros come from. And they have a pretty interesting history. Churros originally came from Spain, where they are often eaten as a breakfast food and served with hot chocolate for dipping, which is a pretty popular combination even today. Some historians believe that churros may have been inspired by Chinese fried dough called youtiao, which Portuguese traders brought back to Europe. And then over time, the recipe was adapted into something sweeter, like what we've seen today. When churros were brought to Latin America, especially Mexico, they became even more popular and started to evolve into the versions most people recognize now, which is coated in cinnamon, sugar, and sometimes filled with things like chocolate and caramel or cream.
In Mexico, churros are often sold by street vendors, and they're usually served fresh and warm, which is a big part of why they're so good. You get that contrast between the crispy outside and the soft inside. What's interesting is that even though churros are really simple, they have stayed popular for so long because they're cheap to make, easy to share, and just really satisfying. Now, we're gonna go through the ingredients. Because there aren't that many, so each of them plays an important role in making the churros. For the dough, we have water, some butter, flour, and a little bit of sugar and salt. The butter adds richness, the flour gives structure, and the water helps bring everything together into a smooth dough.
We also have eggs. These are really important because they make the churros light and give them texture that's like soft in the inside. Then for frying, we're going to be using olive oil since it can handle high heat without affecting the flavor too much. And finally, we're going to be coating it in sugar and cinnamon to give it a sweet flavor on the outside.
Alright, so first, we're gonna make the dough, and we'll go over to our pot.
Alright, so first we'll be making the dough. In a pot over medium heat, we'll be adding 1 cup of water, and 6 tablespoons of butter.
We will also add 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. And finally, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt.
Once it's heating up and the butter is fully melted, we're going to be adding 1 cup of flour,
At this point, you want to start mixing pretty quickly because the dough will come together fast. It'll look a little messy at first, but keep stirring, and eventually it'll form into a dough that pulls away from the sides of the pot. We're gonna keep cooking for another minute or so just to remove a little bit of moisture, which helps the texture later on. Then we're gonna take it off the heat and let it cool slightly, because if it's too hot, it'll cook the eggs when we add them. Once the dough has cooled for a bit, we're going to add 3 eggs, but one at a time. Start off with our first egg. Then we're gonna mix it together. After mixing it for a little bit, we'll add the rest of our eggs. At first, it might look like the dough is separating or getting weird, but just keep mixing it and it'll come back together into a smooth, pipeable consistency. We'll add our final egg. What you're looking for is a dough that's thick, but still soft enough to pipe.
Now we transfer the dough into a piping bag with a star tip. The star shape is important because it helps create the ridges on the churros, which help them get extra crispy when frying. If you don't have a piping bag, you can improvise, but the shape might not come out the same.
Now we will move on to the frying, which is probably the most important part. So we're going to go ahead and add some olive oil into our pan, add it to about the halfway point. We heat our oil to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's important to keep the temperature steady so the churros could cook evenly. Now we'll carefully pipe the dough into the hot oil. And now we cut it. Now we're gonna make our cinnamon sugar coating that we will use to coat the churros once they're finished frying. So in a large bowl, we're gonna add half a cup of sugar. Then just have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Be careful here because the oil is really hot, so just take your time. Let them fry for a few minutes and occasionally turn them. Wait until they're golden brown on all sides. Once some of them are done, take them out and place it on a paper towel to let the oil drain. Once they have sat on the paper towel and have cooled down for a little bit, we're gonna put them into the cinnamon sugar mixture and we're gonna roll them. This is important because the sugar sticks better when the churros are so hot. Make sure they are fully coated. That's where a lot of the flavor comes from. And that's it. Your churros are ready.
They're crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and the cinnamon sugar really comes through.
Honestly, they taste just something like you'll get at a fair.
And yeah, that's churros. Simple ingredients, a few steps, but a really good result.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Global Bites, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hi, I'm Mr. Perez,
Hi, I'm Miss Madison.
and we are here to eat churros.
I'm here with I think the best teacher at Hopkins School, smartest person ever, Eduardo Perez, and yeah, we're really excited to eat these churros. What else did you want to know?
Me and Miss Madison are both born and raised right here in New Haven.
Oh, facts.
And
New Haven locals.
Miss Madison is literate, which is why I look up to her so much. So yeah, we are going to taste test these churros now, and I, as Mr. Perez, really hope I don't become ill. Thoughts and prayers. Ooh, so scary. Okay, would you like to do the honors, Miss Madison?
You want to break one in half?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like a wishbone?
You got the longer one, so you can make a wish.
You know the rule, one bite.
That was 2. Can't count.
She don't get it. She's not cultured. I mean, he.
You gotta be the first one to say something.
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it an 8.3. 8.3. 8.3.
8.3. They said
8.3. My bad.
We
So,
said letters. You're doing numbers.
I'll let you
Anthony.
choose. Which way am I leaning? B or B minus?
B minus. I'll just say this. It's a little saltier than I expected.
A little salty.
Now I can appreciate some salt. I can appreciate that. The mouthfeel, not that we're on like Great British Baking Show or anything, but like it was kind of spongy.
Yeah,
Whereas like
yeah.
for a churro, I expect more of like a crunch, like a fry.
Yeah, and like a fried airiness.
Some of them are different colors.
That too. That too.
Some of them are different colors. I'm gonna say, and it's all love, like truly. This is not me trying to be like, I'm gonna say a solid C+. Guys, I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I respect you too much to lie.
Yeah, I'm sticking with like my B minus, maybe going to B range because I want you guys to feel better about yourselves. But no, B minus I think is pretty strong. Like Mr. Perez was saying, I think more airiness in the dough would be a good next step,
Right.
and maybe a little less salt.
Maybe let's talk about the things we liked. Didn't make me gag.
That's true.
And
it was edible.
Edible. I'm still here. It's sweet. The shapes are fairly uniform. Like the
Too.
piping is good. It looks good. It looks good. I do like saltier things, so like generally for me this works. I don't have any real qualms with the salt, but for what it's meant to be, it's kind of like a little abstract.
Deviates a lot.
It
Deviates.
zigs when it's supposed to zag. But overall, I think these are successful.
Yeah, we'll say with the salt, Andrew didn't know the difference between like teaspoon and tablespoon. So we'll say that's what happened. Yeah,
That-
we'll say that's what
Now,
happened.
does that have something to do with the? It's a soft churro.
Is
when they're
this
supposed to, like-
this more of a reflection on Miss
Can I
Madison's
just-
English class?
Stop it now.
And not being
Can I just show? So the churro is supposed to have like, I should be able to do this, right? I should be able to do that. I'm just saying.
They were crispy as they came out of the oil.
They're
but
a little wet.
Yes, because they were in the fridge overnight.
a
so
little
that's,
soppy.
That's why.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah, the moisture got trapped in there. So.
trapped moisture, which is okay. Again, delete that one.
How long did you let it sit out?
Good like overnight. We made it like yesterday around like 4 p.m.
Yesterday
Yeah.
at 4, but then how long does it sit before putting it in the fridge?
That's a good question.
Did you make these with love?
Yes, a lot of love. A lot
Okay.
of love.
I'm feeling a little absence of love.
I don't know. I can be convinced to like not to push mine up to B minus if I know that these were made with love.
Yeah, I mean like before we put in the eggs, we like talked to them. They were made with a lot of love. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's like if a churro and Tres Leches had a baby, because it's wet.
Yeah, it is wet.
It's wet. Bodhi, do you want to try one?
I already did.
Bodhi, would you like to? Because we've got.
It's got a slight.
It's kind of growing on.
It's got a slight chew.
I don't want to ruin the.
It's got a slight chew.
No,
you know?
that might be.
This was current.
Yeah, go ahead and let us
Do you
know.
get that a little bit? It's like a little bit of a chew.
No, that's true. Still standing. Check one.
Honestly,
Got all of his faculties.
I think that if they didn't call it a churro, I would like it more because it just,
Yo, facts.
yeah, it just doesn't really remind me of what I think of a churro, but like it is what it is, and it's like not bad.
I would, on like a late night, polish off about 5 of these. But if you called them like
A cinnamon delight.
a cinnamon delight,
That's good actually.
patent that. Patent
cinnamon
that.
delight.
Wet cinnamon delight.
A soggy cinnamon delight.
Soggy cinnamon delight. You know, that's English. That's alliteration. That's a great English teacher right there.